Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket trailers, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say just that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to rename the name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Land of the brave, the U.S. of A. Oh, say just that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
angels cry, the devil's outside.
morning, everybody. I guess y'all can hear me. 5x5, good to go, all that good stuff. Hey, I could act like a YouTube content creator. Can I get a 5x5? Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share this out. Let's fight the algorithm. There you go. I don't know. It's almost like an example of the predictive programming. Every channel you go to, you hear that thing, and it just gets put into your head. It's like hey man, I will say that y'all might notice I'm going to probably increase the subscription mode to a little longer, because I'm just kind of where if people want to have a conversation, then be part of the group, hang out kind of thing. That whole let's just, I don't know. Things are getting serious. Ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And by the way, bride guy, he said, what he said, let's see, wait, me getting sober was an act of God kicking me in the balls, telling me to get my shit together. Well, he gives you the path and he gives you the tools. And there's little reminders, I think, to show you that you have the strength to do it. And rock on, Brian, because I'm glad you caught on, brother. Got to clean that fog out. Got to get rid of that shit. And it's not even just the drug addiction. It's addiction to anything. If you feel like you have to have this, then that ought to be worth looking into. So what's up? Said y'all have a good weekend? I'm just chilling. I was kind of, I don't know, man, it's been okay. I tell you, so see, I really kind of been down, I get pissy, you get, I don't know, that depressed word gets thrown around like ADHD. It's like, really? But I was hitting lows, and I gotta say, just kind of making myself do this, kind of put a little pep in the step, kind of per se, and because it just kind of it's a motivator. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you need to do things not for yourself but for others. Sometimes that's the boost you need. I don't know. Sometimes you row somebody else's boat better than you row your own. Yeah. The good old neighborhood car mechanic. It's amazing. Everybody else's car runs better than their car. The local carpenter. Local carpenter's house leaks like a sieve, but he does awesome job for everybody else. So that's how we sustain ourselves. Oh, thank you, Broken. Yep. And then, well, this is the left-handed version. The right-handed version, you can kind of. And right now, man, we're in such anxious, stressful, confused moments with intentional bombardment of bullshit than just the reactive bullshit when people, feed into that. And just there's so much confusion, anxiety, stress. Nunya, what's up? And by the way, I'm sorry I didn't even address everybody, so let me try to do that. I just kind of step right on up in. A Canadian, I know he's probably working it. My other brother from another mother. We got Scat Pack, Brian Guy, William, Mr. Huckleberry, William, Kiss Off. I saw, let's see, I don't want to jump ahead because then I'll get all messed up. You got Dusty, Big and Little, Michigan Outpost, Kiss Off, Morning. Let's see, Brian Guy. Think it's the Cherry Bear. Aha, almost slipped by me. And I know I saw a Sandy in there. By the way, Morning Broken. I could have sworn I saw a Sandy. There it is. Morning, Miss Sandy. Say morning, onion. All right, I'm getting caught up. There we go. Didn't take long. You just gotta put a little pep in the step. All right. Don't say your name you're boycotting. No. Don't tip me, Missy. I might just time you out for the whole show. How you like that? No, I'm just checking with you. Don't push my buttons, man. Don't push my buttons. Don't make me do it. Man, okay. Well, in a way, it's kind of justified too. Because if you kind of look at it, it's like the big sister thing. And what little brother wouldn't want to take down the big sister kind of thing? So being the older one, you being the older one, that'd be like the little brother taking out the big sister. And, that's that's world renowned. So I'm just saying. Could be justified. Hey, morning, Eric. My beans are coming up that I had to replant. Oh, man. I love seeing the garden videos. I mean, I love it. And then I go, oh, man, if I had only thought about this. Now it's a mess, dude. Now this is, I don't know. Hey, but I don't let it get me down, but what a freaking disaster. Everything just went to shit pretty quick. Actually, this happens. It's just, this is now, I'm kind of back where I feel motivated to do something about it kind of thing. It's like that. Let's see. I was going to see if I could. Well, that really doesn't show it. And that really doesn't show it. Yeah, I was hoping I could show you on like the camera. You can really kind of tell from the angle. But oh yeah, we had another limb fall. So yesterday I got out to cut the part of the limb off the fence. Anybody that saw that. And because man, it's the widowmakers that were still hanging up in there. There's still like two more up there. But one fell and it fell. Well, hell, it smacked that limb that was already on the fence. And I'm like, well, shit, I got to go cut it off the fence because somehow, some way, get it off the fence. Because it's just going to, if any more fall, it'll just keep beating the fence down. And I said, poof. So I got it off the fence. I mean, it ain't like cut up, boy. I don't know how that's going to string out of the cord. I'm going to have to use that little saw old Moose gave me. I ain't got enough batteries to cut all that up with my Sawzall. And the weather should be nice today. Hopefully, there's no call for rain. Double check that. Okay, well, I take that back. This evening, there's a 48% chance of rain. Dude, this shit's got up me. I will say the new batteries help out a lot with the chair. So it must have been the batteries getting weaker was half of my problem. Because now it doesn't cut off and short out and just stop or something. So the batteries. It's been hot as hell. Yep. We haven't had rain here since Easter Sunday. Ooh-wee. Man, I like I saw this story about some Arizona billboards, and I gotta say that was kind of like, see, man, that state. I hope y'all come through this November. I hope things make a positive change there. I don't know, man, because that, so not, you have the whole Maricopa County thing centralized with that election and all that thievery. You got the whole Katie Hobbs thievery shit. But then, like with this Trump trial, it was so weird. And I caught this little clip of Tim Pool talking about within 5 days. Within 5 days, apparently, I don't know what city it was or if it's several cities in Arizona, but apparently these billboards went up. I used to be a Trump supporter, but I won't going to vote for a convicted felon. It's like, oh, shit. Within 5 days. And I laughed and told the missus after I listened to the Tim Pool going, well, I put up a couple of the billboard type things around here. And that shit just don't happen in 5 days. Even if you have the whole graphic ready to go. Not to mention, like Tim Pool even brought up marking the deal out. So it was like, wow. So yeah, that state is. Oh, thank you, Miss Sandy. Yeah, it's, usually this happens a little earlier, believe it or not. So we, like the good old saying, April showers bring May flowers, all that good stuff. So that's usually this. So it's, I don't know. I kind of hate to talk about it because the minute you go unusual, and then there's something, and I just don't. You got to stay zoomed out, look at it for what it is. Hobbs is under investigation. Oh, well, I don't even know when it comes to all that with that damn woman broken, if you can say investigation or if it's just a way of saying we're collecting all the evidence because there's really not much investigating you need to do. It was pretty obvious and up front and in everybody's face. Hell, I don't even live in Arizona, and it was plain as day for me. So it sounds more like instead of investigating, it's collecting because there's so much. They just got to find it before they get rid of it. What's up, Mad Shad? Greetings from the Erie Coast. But man, I don't know. I think we can. Well, I know we can. I know we can come out of this. We can bounce back. There's just so much quitterness. I'll make up my own damn word. Quitterness. There's so much quitterness going around. It's just, and I think it's the stress and anxiety, it's kind of like, Brian will probably get it. It's like somebody getting sober and all of a sudden you just start getting these things in your head going, what's the point? What's the point? Life's not going to get no better. What's the point? And so you relapse and go back. Well, it's kind of like if you take that same mentality of behavior and you propagate that to what we go through today, you just start feeling, oh, what's the point, man? It's a selection, not an election. Your voice isn't really going to matter. Voting doesn't count. They're all sold out. They have the plan. It's nothing we can, so it's the same concept. It's the same mentality. So you just got to kick that shit to the curb. As long as you're breathing, you can do something. Right on, broken. Sandy says our rainy season here is from April through June. This week is finally starting to calm down with the rain. There you go. Hey, what's up, PAEMT? Psychological warfare matters, right? Well, because it's the repetitiveness, and what's I guess strange to me is that, like, we've known that kind of stuff, if we know about spreading rumors and hearsay, as kids we were taught the whole circle of chairs and whispering and see how it doesn't, it loses the thing. We were taught how if you repeat the same thing, repetitiveness, we were even taught that in training. We do repetitiveness because we want, to make the mental connect. This is your reactive. And so when you just got to take that same concept and go, okay, so if we put it over, and it's like, wow. And then I think other people propagate that even more. without even knowing they're propagating. And what's up, Monty? I don't know if I said morning. I see I just babbled so long there that I wasn't sure if I said morning or not. It's been hot as hell in Southwest Florida. Normal must be global cooling. Moving to North Florida in near future. Better hunting and fishing. And I think your elevation goes up just a wee bit there, William, which is a good thing. Oh, man. But yeah, because, man, I don't know. You go to, you can't, like, you tell a positive story and watch chat. You can watch chat wherever you go and watch. If, I don't know how many other channels talk positive stuff, like, we're going to do this, except for that whole, oh, you ain't got to do nothing because they got the plan. It's the white hats. They're just waiting for the moment. Now, okay, I'm not talking about that goofy shit. The whole, you just see it. If you say something positive that like encourages, you'll see an immediate counter to it. You won't see the right on, hell yeah. Instead, you'll hear the whatever, everything going to work. It ain't going. You hear, isn't that kind of strange? That's like the reactive mentality. And I don't know, maybe it's always been there and I've just never really noticed because I've just never stopped long enough to actually go, oh wow, this is what most people think, because you put your head down and you go to work. Whatever that is you're doing, I don't know. I think that's awesome, William. On up in the later years and y'all can kind of be closer, then it's like, yep, it'll be good for you. It's good for the family relationship. So that's a positive on the up and up. Did anyone else see the hubbub about the social media post talking about the jurors' relative thinking with court system? Oh, yeah. Positive stories definitely beat negative bullshit in my mind. It does. Because you need that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I think sometimes I have a way of talking and it comes out almost like a condescending kind of way, and I don't mean it really to do that. I don't really know why people do, that. I used to think I had an understanding because I'd kind of been on the downside when it come to the whole behavior and drug and that kind of thing in my younger years. So I thought I kind of had, but to be honest, nowadays, I don't have a clue. It's so wild. I mean, I brought up, let's see, what was it I said? And Tucker Carlson. I brought up an interview with Tucker Carlson, and I'll be dang, somebody called him a clone. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's that far gone. I mean, because he's changed his viewpoint. Now he's a clone. See, that's why I'm saying there's no positive. There's no like, and I just thought that's so weird. Some of the thought process. What's up, John McGill? Morning. Canadian stopping in for a wave. Defeatism attitude, right, Chad? That's it. And I think maybe even in a couple years doing this, I probably have come out harsher to people that I really probably didn't mean to. Now that I'm kind of been sitting back thinking about that, because I just really was reacting, which really didn't make me any different than the things that I noticed, because then I'm just reacting. So it was kind of like, dude, I just let do you boo kind of thing. And I'm going to kind of I don't know. I'm going to try to continue. I want to try to continue to do this and do a positive thing, but it's just, I can't, I'm not, and I need to learn how to address it without sounding negative or condescending or as an asshole, pretty much. Because I just don't, you know, I had no idea. And then whenever I started to see that, I think I reacted kind of like in a smart assy way, you know. Now I realize I didn't need to do that. Just, man, it's like if that's what people are into, you know. Hey, what's up, Moonchild? I saw her. There it is. Sorry if I missed anybody. Did I miss it? I didn't miss nobody. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Trying to stay on top of things. Of course, I'm sure the 20-minute thing might slow down chat some. I don't know. I just got to thinking, it's like, how many times do we go to have a conversation or we're talking about something, but something can, what at least people could invest. I'm not a big to the subscriber for I need to beat the algorithm shit, but you know what? At least show that you want to be part of the group. And so I thought, subscription. You can sub to the channel. Just at least it shows an effort to want to be part of the group. So that's why I did that. And see people that are sub wouldn't even notice. Trying to get some homesteaded money together, guys. I just now successfully neutralized the target that was making my life hell for 3 years. There you go, John. Some people like living in their own toilet bowl. This is true. Well, misery loves company. That saying's been around for a long time. Kind of strange. If you sound like it, so it keeps the special people away. I had to stop and say, love what you're doing. Change my mind. Right on, Michigan. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, how are the kiddos doing? Okay. And does anybody heard from D-Dog about his mom? She doing okay? Eric, got to go. Be back in a while. All right, Eric. Make it a good day. What's up, Cover? How are things across the pond? I think we got everybody. But yeah, I don't know. So, hey, I do got something for you. Man, I could watch the whole thing, but we won't. I'll just kind of highlight through it. But so does anybody live in Kentucky? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to say. But if anybody lives in Kentucky, I got to tell you, I don't know how the whole state there is set up per se, but that Thomas Massey, that guy, he's the representative, the House of Rep, the federal rep, however you want to view that, the representative up in Washington for Kentucky. And that was like totally blew me away about this guy. He is not what I was expecting at all. I figured all of them, because you figure they're all the Schumers or the McConnells or the Pelosi's and the Grahams, and you think of them all like that. And wow. So, because I watched the interview with Tucker with him, and then he actually, because of the response from that, put out a little video to talk about his homestead. This dude is set up better than I don't know if somebody wants to watch this and can objectively say you've seen a channel right here on YouTube where somebody's doing the homesteading, and I'm not knocking all the people that we know. That dude is 100% off the grid. When he goes home, his whole property, everything about his property is off the grid, and it's not big fancy Elon Musk or all this big billionaire shit. The dude hand built his shit. I don't know, man. see, when you hands-on build your shit, you earn my respect right out the gate. So that's the way let's see, I need to do this and then this. Yeah, I forgot about it that way. I don't know what it is, guys, but everywhere I go, doors go down. I'm just so tired of doors going down. Open doors. Hasn't stopped raining. Oh, damn, cover. It's still raining over there. Oh, Monty said we just got flooded the night before last. These storms are whipping up into something. So y'all got to see it moved on up into there. Here, I'm going to pause that. Let's see. Hey, I could do that. I don't know if I played this whole thing, if I would get in trouble, probably. I don't know. Who knows? Plus, it is 35 minutes long, which we don't have to watch it all. I just wanted y'all to kind of catch. I'm just, man, we'll highlight through it just so you can see the layout. But this is Thomas Massey, the Kentucky representative.
There are a lot of labels floating out there, you know, libertarian-leaning Republican, constitutional conservative, Tea Party, deplorable. I'll go with any of those labels. I don't really get caught up in labels. Look, I've been called a redneck and a hillbilly and a nerd and a geek. I find those to be terms of endearment now.
Hey, I paused it for a quick. What's up, D-Dog? I was just asking about you. How is your mom doing? If anybody had heard about your mom, how's she doing? Grabbing a moderate amount of preparedness of goods from a local thrift store, different approximately $400 of goods for zero. Backpacks, cooking gear, books. Oh, damn. Massey wants the Fed to go bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Man, I tell you, I had no idea. This dude is so he built his home by hand. Like, he literally went and bought a sawmill, learned how to run the sawmill, learned how to, and didn't use all this fancy hardware inside his house. I mean, the joints are actually the old, I forgot which, is it Jewish culture? I don't know. He mentions it, but it's the whole dowel mortar joint type thing. I know I totally butchered that all up, but hey, man, it is Monday, so. The mosquitoes, oh yeah, Huckleberry. Man, them little shits. Do not get rid of the board of education. What he wants to change. Oh, I was just totally impressed with this dude.
Instead of derision. This is the Shire. I mean, look at it. It can't get any more beautiful than this. Here in these hills, these are the people that I grew up with, and the families that I grew up with are the same families my kids are growing up with. And to come back here and have real interaction with people you know, and you know you're going to know until you die, is very rejuvenating to me. My philosophy is live and let live. And I think it comes from growing up here in Eastern Kentucky, where sort of the motto is, you don't worry about what somebody's doing in their holler if they don't worry about what you're doing in your holler. And that comes from the people who settled these hills.
See, that's just on point, man. I totally dig. I'll mute him. That way I'll just babble. That way you don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing. But like all that his whole house right there, he built all that. All that stone came from that mountain right there. He would literally dig it up, and he actually made that stone. And I just 100% off the grid. It's just the whole concept. I mean, the land they're on is his wife grew up there. That's family area. childhood sweetheart, raising their family there, has the garden, cattle, hand done his house. Nothing about it is connected to the grid. It's got solar. Now, granted, he's got some things that maybe the money, but he's a smart dude. He actually went to MIT. That's a funny story. Hell, he went to MIT. He didn't even know what the hell MIT was. He applied, got accepted, and then went, and he tells this joke. I think it was to Tucker. He doesn't say it. I think in this one, I think it was in the interview to Tucker. He was like at MIT for like 3 months or something. And before he would wave at everybody that would honk because he had crossed the street, and he just waved and would smile, and well, people would flip him off. And he said it took like 3 months before he finally realized why they were honking. It wasn't just to say hi, but everywhere he had been down here, people honked whenever that was their way of saying hi. It was so funny. Dude, it's just not anything I thought, and he totally gets it. The reason why he got in politics to begin with was because they went to raise his taxes in the county or whatever. Yeah, I think it's county is what they call it. But and he said, well, why? And then he didn't like the answer, so he started to get involved. And then next thing you know, he said, well, you're wasting money. So he ran, and people around there started going, oh, wow, yeah, okay, he's doing good. They backed him. Wow, it's an impressive story. I think what I need to do is just record this video, and then I'll post it up on the community thing, because this is off of X. And so as far as watching this video is over on X, which I tell you, I don't know. Let's see. I tell you what, I'll let it play for a few minutes. You can kind of get, oh, it's Thomas Massey. Hold on, I'll pull it up while this is playing.
I was bored growing up, but I found that I liked to build things and make things, especially things that would improve other people's lives. When I was in junior high, I invented a flower pot that would water itself when the soil got too dry. And that was for my grandmother, who liked to travel a lot, and she wanted to make sure her plants didn't die when she was gone. Now, she was paying my brother and my sister to water her plants when she was gone, and I decided to liberate them from their paycheck and invent a self-watering flower pot. Water is life. So a lot of what I'm doing here on my farm is managing water everywhere. Out in front of my house, we're on a hill here, I built this terraced garden, and the water runs off the roof, and we get a lot of water, but all that water off my roof comes down here and waters the garden. So it produces lush tomatoes every year. That's going to be yummy on a BLT. Some of these are rotten. These are going to go to the chickens. Chicken's going to eat that. We don't compost because basically everything we produce, the chickens or the dogs will eat. So we don't really have to compost things. Looks like we got 2 eggs. And that one's still warm. So there's a couple levels of farming. You can buy the offspring after they're hatched or born, but really the next level is when you start breeding your own stock. These chicks were raised right on the nest with the mother, and the benefit of that is we never have to bring them inside and put a heat lamp on them or feed them. They've never been fed little chickie food. They just come out here and eat whatever their mama's eating, which today happens to be tomatoes and bugs. And it seems like a miracle every day that I come out here and there's still 7 chicks, because there are predators right off in the weeds here. There are raccoons, there are foxes, there are coyotes, there are the neighbor's dogs, and all of them like to eat chicken. I like to say the reason so many things taste like chicken is that everything likes the taste of chicken. My goal, my dream was to go to MIT. I'd never even visited the campus. I read about this place called MIT, never been really north of the Mason-Dixon line. And I applied and was accepted. I did well at MIT. I was in junior high. I invented a flower pot that would...
Sorry, I screwed that up. I was trying to pause at Huckleberry, Kentucky. Let me get back up there where I was at. My bad.
And I applied and was accepted. I did well at MIT. It was like drinking from a fire hose. At MIT, I invented some technology, some virtual reality technology that let people touch virtual objects, to feel them with their hands inside the computer. I commercialized this device. I got patents for it. I raised venture capital money. A lot of this happened while I was still in school. My high school sweetheart, who actually grew up on this farm, also went to MIT. So we were doing this company together while we were both students at MIT. That was very rewarding, but my wife and I wanted to get back to Kentucky. And because we had started the company in our married student housing dormitory, we had hired 70 people in New England. I thought about trying to offer them all 40 acres and a mule to come back to Kentucky with us, but ultimately we had to sell our ownership and separate from the company in order for us to relocate here in Kentucky, where we wanted to raise our kids the same way we had been raised. We bought the farm that my wife grew up on. Her parents still live here. And we decided to build a house and to do tangible things. I had been living in virtual reality. That was my business, a virtual reality device. Getting back to the earth and was important to both my wife and I. So we wanted everything about our house to be real and nothing about it to be fake.
See, that was a awakening moment. He was like, well, I didn't want to be in that. I wanted to get real. And yeah, and by the way, he tells a story about that pizza oven. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he says he built the house around the pizza oven. And yep, it's all hand done. Man, I don't know. Y'all just keep enjoying. I'll play it.
Kentucky was the best place for us to live this dream because there are very few regulations here. I came back here just to blend in. I didn't want to be the nail sticking up. Shortly after coming back here and starting to build our house with everything real, the local government decided they wanted to start passing more laws and restricting what you could do with your land.
See, and this is the moment he decides to get involved. He says, hey, you're trying to, to do screwed up shit. This is what I think more people, we need to do this now. Just need to get over the fact that maybe some of us took longer to get there, but we need to get back to boots on the ground.
I thought, well, I can just ignore that and just go on with my life. And I did. I ignored it for 2 or 3 years. And then I just couldn't take it anymore.
By the way, I'm going to point out, if you look at that, what you're seeing on that screen, if you kind of look over to the left and right corners, you can see those wooden dowel rods that hold those arches and shit in and those beams. I'm just, man, that dude had cut all those logs. He cut that wood.
And I wrote a letter to the editor to air my grievances with the local government. They were going to raise our taxes that day, and we stopped it from happening. All right, so on my farm, there are some very large stones like this, and they're great building material, but they're too big for me to manage. So what I do is I slice them up using a gas chop saw and wedges to split the stones. So this is a stone where I've sliced into it with the saw and then drove wedges into it and split it. Eventually, I get down to something about this size, but that's not a nice looking face, so I want it to look good. So I face this with a chisel. So my idea for my house was to build it all from stone and timber that I could find here on my farm. And when I told people that I was going to do that, they were worried for me that the stones wouldn't be good enough, that somehow because they were available right here on my farm and local, that maybe they were inferior. And I'm sure you've seen stones that look like this. This is how they end up looking like this. And when they try to imitate stones that look like this, they're trying to imitate work, because this is a lot of hard work. But I think there's this notion that if something's available locally, it's not as good, that it's got to be exotic, that you've got to get this stone from Italy in order for it to be something meaningful. For me, it's more meaningful because it came from the location where I'm building the house. Literally, I want a house that's coming out of the ground and belongs here. That's the other thing. The stones on my house match the stones that we're walking on in the ground here, because it's the same stone, and it's going to last pretty much forever. We had an ice storm that struck our farm in 2003 and fell a lot of trees on our property. I spent a year with my bulldozer and a winch going into the woods and dragging these trees out. And those are the trees that are here in my house, the ones that nature cut down for me. I just had to drag them to my sawmill and then cut them into the shapes that would form this house. I started studying timber framing, and I even signed up for a 1-week class in Tennessee on timber framing. And when I went there, I learned how ignorant I was, and that the beauty of building a timber frame house is that you can make the fasteners out of the same material. The fasteners are wood. The whole house is held together with wooden pegs. But if you study it even more, it's not even the pegs that are holding the house together. There's joinery. The tenons go in the mortises. And then if you lay it out correctly and properly, almost all of the joints are held together just by the force of the house, not by the pegs. So when I found out they were trying to zone the county, that means they wanted to pass a law where we would be required to go to the local government and ask their permission to do things with our property. I decided to write another one of my letters to the editor. 30 people showed up at that zoning meeting. Now, I stood up
listen to
speak
this
first.
This is important. Listen to how this kind of goes. I thought, see, this is how communities pull together, and this is how you change shit.
And after 5 minutes, the chairwoman advised me that I should sit down, that I was done speaking. I stood at the podium wondering what I would do next, because I certainly didn't want to sit down. A Democrat in the crowd who had been inspired by my letter to the editor to show up at the meeting stood up and told the chairwoman, he can have my 5 minutes. And she said, okay, Mr. Massey, you've got 10 minutes now. And then everybody in attendance stood up, all 30 people, and said, we're giving him our 5 minutes too. That was inspiring to me, because those people trusted me to speak for them, and they wanted to hear what else I had to say. And we stopped the county from being zoned. So they nicknamed this group of people Thomas's Angry Mob. Ironically, they weren't angry, and it wasn't a mob. They were informed, and they were organized, and I was helping organize them.
See?
And that's when I realized you could be an activist, and you could change government.
An example of we the people.
88 PSI. We have a pond that's 200 feet in elevation above the house. It's back here in the woods, and it's at the head of that holler about a third of a mile away. You know, when I visited Monticello, I noticed that they had 10 roofs over everything, and they were trying to catch every drop of water that hit their roofs and then reuse it. But I also noticed the next hill over from Monticello was much taller than Monticello. Thomas Jefferson could have built a pond on top of that other hill and used gravity to feed it right there to Monticello, and he could have had all the water he wanted at a pressure, a water pressure that would have just been incredible. But the problem was they didn't have plastic pipe. I ran 2-inch pipe right here from that pond down to here, and you get like 0.4 psi per foot of elevation. So I have 88 psi of water, and there's almost 500,000 gallons of water in the pond. And as I use it, whenever it rains, it fills back up. So it'll last for maybe 500 years, you know, if you keep the trees off the dam.
Just so
Because
simple.
without water, you can't have anything.
That's it.
Water is life.
Water is life.
And so eventually I was persuaded by the people who were inspired by my letters to the editor. And I ran for this position called County Judge Executive. You have to judge which roads need paved first, which wooden bridges need to be concrete bridges, which dogs need to be caught, and which dogs don't need to be caught because the dog catcher worked for me, who would operate the trash routes. These were things you had to judge. It's not government from 30,000 feet like it is in Washington, D.C. You're in the trenches with bayonets and pitchforks trying to settle these issues. I was inspired to go to other counties and talk to groups that had organized. One of the messages that I try to get across to people who want to get involved in government is that you got to be involved at every level, and that even the water board or the sewer board or the school board has the power to take your property either through taxation or outright condemnation. And that's a very powerful thing. And so you need to either run for that office or be very concerned about who takes that position.
See, that just is so solid. And I guess what really has kind of got me with this interview is because it's just, I had no idea, you know, you just always, I was as guilty as just grouping them all together. You know, they're all just, oh, they're all making bank. They don't even, and this dude lives for real. I mean, like, it's pretty cool. What's up, Anti? It's good to hear, Michigan. And that was good to hear, D-Dog. As long as they're grappling at you, you know, they're good enough for that. Here, we'll continue.
I was building a base that would ultimately persuade me to run for this congressional seat. And that's what happened is our congressman announced his retirement. And these people that I had gone to and spoke to, because they cared and I cared, they got me elected to Congress. And now I'm in Congress. So I tell people my life, my career started out in virtual reality. Then I came back to the farm, and now I'm back in virtual reality in Washington, D.C. Yeah, one of my sons now, he doesn't like working for me, so he went and got a paycheck. He got a job where he gets a paycheck working construction. He's 17. And now he's got the little stub that's got withholding on it. So there's FICA and federal income tax and state income tax. So, you know, until then, I've been paying in cash. So I asked him, what do you think now, son? And he showed me his pay stub, and he pointed to the federal withholding. He said, I think I'm paying your salary now, Dad. You work for me. One of the things I regret
pretty cool.
about my orchard is I didn't label the trees. Like I
Oh,
thought
this
I would
is
always
funny.
remember what tree I had planted where. But then I ran for Congress and got elected and went to D.C., and I forgot what this tree is. So now I've done something to keep from forgetting. I had to come up with the sign that would outlast me. So I figured tombstones are made to outlast people. So I made little tombstones for my trees that tell me, and the person after I die, hopefully that's not too soon, what the tree actually is. And this is a bell of Georgia. It's a white peach. This is the Shire. I mean, look at it. It can't get any more beautiful than this. And it stands in stark contrast to what lies beyond those hills. Eastward is Mordor. And I mean, Washington,
I love the
D.C., when I
reference.
go there, there's no greenery like this. Man has tried to create something as magnificent as these hills, but he's failed, really, in D.C. to do that. There's a lot of glitz and glamour in Washington, and I think it's built that way to impress people, to try to convince people something important is going on there.
Oh, this is funny.
Here, ducky. So Daddy Duck is the white one. He's a, oh, they don't like me interrupting their food. The white one is the daddy duck. The black one is the mama duck. He's a meat duck. He's a Pekin duck. And this is a Kyoga duck. And what she lays eggs. And my goal was to cross the meat duck with the egg layer so that the offspring would be sort of a dual purpose duck. I learned you don't touch the metal bucket and the duck fence at the same time because you might mispronounce duck. So that solar panel
That
powers
was
this.
funny.
Now, I can plug I can plug a fence charger into my house. Anything that's running off electricity on the top of this hill is running off solar power, whether it's got its own little solar panel or whether it's running from my house. The electric wire that connects you to the electrical grid
Here
is
you
like
go.
an umbilical, like in the Matrix. And the government has a lot of control over your life through that one little wire. If you refuse to comply, with one of their regulations, the first thing they do is to cut that wire. And typically, the first thing you would then do is cry uncle, because try going without electricity for a day or two once you've gotten used to it. Yeah, one thing that's become apparent to me now that I've been in Washington, D.C., and after having been in the private sector and also every weekend coming back to my farm, is that the folks in Washington, D.C. have no business trying to make decisions about what's most efficient.
See, this is cool. This is a guy that gets it, and this is the ones that I think, man, I'm going to make it a try to point to back this guy and just an email or something just to encourage him, because he really does get it. I think he just needs more support.
For people back on their farms or back in their businesses. So there are a lot of people that have never been in the country that live in Washington, D.C. and try to make rules for the country and the countryside. Out here, heating with wood is a very inexpensive, practical, renewable way to sustain your household. And in Washington, D.C., the EPA, even without congressional action, has been trying to crack down on wood-burning stoves because they've got this notion somehow that all the trees are going to disappear and that burning wood is a bad way to create heat. Well, you can see over here on my hillside, like literally, even before you get to the real leafy stuff, there's 4 or 5 dead trees right there that will heat my whole house this whole winter, this entire winter. The 4 trees that you can see will provide all the heat that I need. Now, if I don't go cut down those dead trees and burn them in my wood gasifying boiler, they're going to fall down and termites are going to work on them. And instead of producing CO2, now they're going to produce methane, which the environmentalists say is 43 times as worse in terms of a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. All right, so this is my boiler room, and this is where all the heat for the house comes in the winter. My children stack wood on these U-boats, and we roll them into the basement, and if we fill up 4 of these U-boats, we've got enough wood to heat our house for a month. So this is a gold mine to me right here. I found a fallen tree across my trail where the wood has already dried out. You put the wood in the boiler, and instead of burning the wood directly, it gets it really hot, turns it into charcoal, drives off the gases like the hydrogen gas and the other hydrocarbon gases forces them down into a lower chamber where it burns at 1500 to 2000 degrees in a ceramic chamber. And literally everything burns in that chamber. And the benefit is all of the smoke is combusted in that chamber as well as the things that normally burn. So all that comes out of my chimney is steam. At our house, we're producing less pollution by burning dry wood, and it's also a carbon zero cycle. In other words, all of the carbon that's in this wood was collected from the atmosphere, so that when we readmit it into the atmosphere, there's net zero carbon production. Is that the solution for everybody? No, it's not the solution for everybody. But every solution needs to be tuned to the local environment and the local culture. And that's why it's so wrong for Washington, D.C. to try and dictate that.
Actually, Huckleberry, I would say that that would be on the other part that we would have to fix would be pulling back the family value, the family unit, and that, you know, the importance of the mother, father, the family unit, the strength of that. And it's you're perpetuating that family line instead of just like unleashing them, you know, out the nest, running away. Then it's flipping it back to where you would be working on the family unit. This, I don't know, dude. This dude just I totally enjoy this. So we got a little bit more.
Our founding fathers didn't want that executive in Washington, D.C. to make all the local decisions. So, you know, we've got levels of government, state government, county government, city government. And a dangerous trend that I see this in Congress, is that that vertical limitation is now being eroded. Horizontally, they balance the power of the judiciary and the legislative and the executive branch. And we've sort of forgotten that. Every time we see the presidential election, we think it's the Super Bowl of politics and we're electing a king, right? And that the legislative branch and the judicial branch will be irrelevant. And the king will just use his pen and his phone and do what he wants. But so we've forgotten that. People are as guilty as the media and anybody else. And remembering that government is horizontally limited. But
I think Pelosi had a good change in all that. It's all of a sudden it started getting portrayed a whole lot different. But yeah, he talks about breaking it back up. Oh my God, did I just really see? I hate this little player thing in this. Oh man. All right, I think I was right in here.
is that the solution for everybody? No, it's not the solution for everybody. But every solution needs
Hey,
to
what's
be
up, Carl?
tuned to the local environment and the local culture. And that's why it's
Wolverine.
so wrong for Washington, D.C. to try and dictate that. Our founding fathers didn't want that executive in Washington, D.C. to make all the local decisions. So, you know, we've got levels of government, state government, county government, city government. And a dangerous trend that I see this in Congress, is that that vertical limitation.
No, I don't have a link because it was over on X, Twitter. And but what I'm going to do is after this, I think I'm just going to record it through StreamYard, and then I can put it up on the community page. And then I can go grab the link for the original Twitter one. And I guess I could go get it for anybody that's got the little Twitter dealie. And then I'll post it. So yeah, here, I'll grab that while we're doing this.
Is now being eroded. Horizontally, they balance the power of the judiciary and the legislative and the executive branch. And we've sort of forgotten that. Every time we see the presidential election, we think it's the Super Bowl of politics and we're electing a king, right? And that the legislative branch and the judicial branch will be irrelevant. And the king will just use his pen and his phone and do what he wants. But so we've forgotten that. People are as guilty as the media and anybody else. And remembering that government is horizontally limited, but they are also guilty of forgetting that it's vertically limited. And Washington, D.C. is making decisions that should be made at the state, should be made at the county level, maybe they should be made in your living room and not made by any government. But we need to always be working to keep that government in check because it's a dangerous thing. And I've learned it at the county level. So my cattle are on the other side of the creek there in the distance, and we're going to move them over here because the grass has had time to recover here and it's grown tall enough for them to eat. Some people say that cattle are bad for the environment and that you shouldn't eat beef because more productive things could be done with the land. And those people really have
Hey, Miss Amy.
never seen a farm in Appalachia, because look at this field right here, this terrain. Most sane people would not drive a lawnmower on it. It's a hill, right? You can't grow any kind of crop here effectively. Some days in Washington, D.C., I feel like this little white calf here. I look around and say, how'd I get here? What am I doing here? Do I belong here? The farm has taught me how to be more patient, and that's the greatest resource I think you have to have in Washington, D.C. These cattle here, the genetics are the result of 3 or 4 generations of breeding. And I've got mama cows that have calves on their own without a lot of problems. But you can't expect all of that in 1 year or 2 years. Making food for other people and watching them eat it and it provide nourishment to their bodies, that's honest. That's not fake. And something got done and somebody appreciates you for it. And those are concepts that are somewhat foreign in Washington, D.C. I mean, if you think about it, nothing is produced in Washington, D.C. There's nothing manufactured. There's no food grown. There are very few inventions created, if you will. It's just a place where nothing is created, and a farm is exactly the opposite. There's life happening here every day. I've found out that I can get more money for my animals if I keep feeding them grass, get the calves to an older age, and then sell that beef directly to consumers. Now, there are government barriers to that, as you can imagine. And the big players in the beef industry don't want any of those barriers removed. So the USDA rules require you to employ a USDA inspector in your facility full-time if you want to have the USDA certification. And there's a butcher house 3 miles from here, 3 miles from my house, that does a fantastic job on these animals. And as long as I sell you a share of this animal before I take it to that butcher shop, it's all legal and you can have the meat after it's butchered. But I can't sell you less than a quarter of the animal. And it's healthy, and the U.S. government has no problem with that. But if I try to sell you a steak, and we don't pretend at least that you own this animal before I butcher it, I go to jail. And the big guys like that, because you can imagine how hard it is if I come up to you and say, would you like to buy some of my beef? And you say, yes, I'm having a cookout this weekend. And I say, great, the smallest order is 300 pounds. But you can go to the supermarket and buy one steak because that has the imprimatur of the USDA, because that facility employed a USDA person and kept them at their facility when they were butchering. So the net result of that regulation is, instead of going 3 miles from my house, I have to go 150 miles from my house to a facility that has a USDA inspector, which raises the price and the effort. And then I've got to come 150 miles back with frozen beef without letting it fall, and then distribute frozen beef to consumers. It's a very difficult proposition. Democrats and liberals want the ability to buy locally and consume healthy food, and they're starting to wake up and realize that the healthiest food comes from your neighbor where there's accountability. It doesn't come from some centralized industrial food production system that's corporate.
Wow, it almost sounds common sensey, like, you know. So we're almost over, so I appreciate everybody hanging in. Totally dig this, man. It gave me a good little gust under the sails, per se.
And this is what we're going to be eating, beef brisket. You cook this low and slow. Sweet. So for me, I mean, I like the fact that it's, quote, green to be off the grid or to be running on solar power. But for me, it was about independence. Sunlight hits the panels. Panels produce DC electricity. These devices take that DC electricity.
Boy, don't you know Rabbit would love this part right here, him and his solar stuff. He loves that.
Step it down and charge the batteries. Now we've got DC power, but we need AC power to run common everyday appliances in the house. That's what these puppies do. These are inverters. They take 48 volts from the batteries and produce 120 volts AC, alternating current, the kind like your blender wants to use or your air conditioner. And that's what these components do. The thing that's going to be the next breakthrough in energy production is actually energy storage. The world doesn't need a better solar panel. The world doesn't need a better windmill. The world needs a better battery. So next to the big Tesla, we've got the little Tesla here. This is an electric go-kart that my son built. And we charge it with the solar panels. And then, you know, in a zombie apocalypse, when the zombies take over the refineries and they're shut down, we'll be able not only to drive a car off of the solar power from the house, but we'll be able to also have a go-kart. When I started farming this property, I thought about my mission statement. So my mission statement and my mission in life on this farm, my goals for this farm, is to come up with a sustainable money-producing model. That's why I have cattle on this farm. I don't need 50,000 pounds of beef. That part of it's not a hobby farm. That part of it is figuring out a business model that the next generation can use, whether it's my children or somebody else's children. I don't want to see all of the trees stripped at once and it logged. I would like it to remain very much like it is now. Here's the thing about the hobbits that go to Mordor. Most of them succumb to the intoxication of power. In fact, I've got my precious here with me. This is my congressional pin. And I usually just keep it in my pocket where I can reach in and feel it.
This is pretty good.
It gives me some comfort, but I try not to ever wear it more than I have to. Because when you wear precious, and every congressman has one of these, and they love to wear them, you become intoxicated. And it's the subtle things that you don't even realize that are happening when you're wearing this pin. For instance, the Capitol Hill police get out of your way as you walk toward them. I once bumped into a policeman because I didn't have precious on, and he didn't yield to me. And it's those subtle things, like when you get in an elevator with 10 people on Capitol Hill, and they look down and see you're wearing precious, they all quit speaking. You know, they'll hold the door open and let you exit first. When you're walking down the hallway wearing precious, people won't make eye contact. They'll look away and look down when you're wearing precious. And all of those things, as odd as it may seem, make the hobbits who wear precious feel powerful. And I can feel it myself. And it's a scary feeling because I know if I wear this for too long, it's going to affect me, and not in good ways. I think one of my weaknesses.
Dude, that was so on point. I love the reference with the whole Hobbit and Mordor and shit, but that was so on point. You just heard it. Exactly the creation of the cancer, you know, and it's that pin. And I love how he see, because that's what happens even on our smaller channel. We talk about channels that go for the likes and the thumbs up and all that. We talk about posts that go for that. Well, it's the same concept. That's so on a social media platform, that little badge is that sub number or the views, you know, or something. So it's that. Yeah, man, that was, is that not such a good on point description? I mean, I think it is anyway. What's up? Actions, not distractions. And that's pretty cool, by the way, Blackbird. I saw about the meetup that you went, and that was cool. I saw part of that. We were on the road at the moment, and I caught a little glimpse that looked like the little maple leaf sitting at the table. So, okay, so we'll finish this up. We're at tail end. But I love the whole reference, man. Was that not like, that's on point? It's like, see, you wear that, and all of a sudden things are different. And I like how he acknowledges, it's like, yeah, see that. It's the ring. Got to put precious in the pocket.
And one of my strengths is that I'm a romantic. My dream is not to be a politician. My dream, I'm living it here on my farm already, and that is marrying my high school sweetheart, building our small castle with our own resources on top of a hill. This is actually the farm my wife grew up on. And to be raising a family here and teaching them values like self-sufficiency, that's my dream. My dream is not to lord over people from a central government somewhere. And I get to live that dream one day a week while I'm serving in Congress 6 days a week. And that's important to me.
See, is that not cool? Man, that was just, I gotta say, yeah, I really dug that. Is it off limits by him to call his sweetheart precious? Right. I'm only saying this one time. FDC, fix your local government. They can stop the DC nonsense. This is true, D-Dog. That's why, man, that was one of those cool, inspiring. I was so glad I found that. It's kind of like one of them little moments, see God kind of, or angels kind of positive to lead you over here to kind of give you a moment. And it's up to me to grab onto that. And then it was up to me to share that with you guys. So there you go. Quick question for everybody. What can I do to keep bugs off my jalapeno plants? D-Dog. Is there something he can do? And does anybody know how to keep caterpillars off your strawberry plants, man? With the one little strawberry plant, Lady Smith, that she sent some, but one survived. And man, them little caterpillars are just, we go, every time we think about it, we just kind of go out to look at the thing and flick them off. Great video. I missed some of it. Where you find it? Oh, I put a link in, deplorable. I got it off of X from his actual, thanks, Share Bear. I got it from there. I'm going to probably copy the video for people that don't do the X Twitter deal. I'm just going to record it through StreamYard and put it on the community page. That way anybody can share it, use it, whatever. I won't be in it. It'll just be the video. Or I guess I could just upload the video. Hey, I could just do that. I don't have to redo it. You know, I could do that. Nemo, there you go. Yeah, no, Carl, you'd have to go rewind it and look. Yeah, he walks. I mean, he learned it. Matter of fact, during the interview with Tucker, he doesn't say it in this. He says it in the interview because Tucker was floored, and Tucker actually asked him, he goes, "Well, how'd you learn? You know, the woodworking and stuff." He said, "I buy 3 books. If I want to learn something, I buy 3 books. I read the first book, and then I read the second book. And if they don't jive or they say something different, I read the third book, and then I have an understanding of it." And yeah, this all that stone is from right there. The wood is all been processed from right there. I mean, it just everything is I don't know, self sustaining. Neem oil is also good for hair growth. Huckleberry says, "Indeed, Scat, really good stuff." Oh, really? You know, I could always test y'all's theory. So for the next year, I guess I could smear neem oil on top, and if there ain't no hair, then y'all are gonna have some apologies to make. Is all I can say for misleading people. No, I'm just picking. It's just a joke. Don't laugh. But is it senator than Congress? Who's hiring? Well, there's more representatives, House of Representatives, than there are senators. The Senate. But it's all equal. It's not one. See, that's what he was talking about. They're all supposed to be equal. The presidency isn't some king or throne thing. People just talk like that, but it's all 3 branches are equal. But there's more representatives because of the way the districting, I think, goes. My understanding, D-Dog would probably know way more about it than me, but I think the representatives are more because that's the way the states are broken up into districts more based off of population and shit. So then you get, or no, that's the senators. The representatives are off of districts, and then the senators are off of the population levels or some shit. So there's more representatives than there are senators. And it's 2 years for the representatives, the House of Representatives, 6 years for the senators, and 4 years for the presidency. 2 terms for presidency, and there is no limits on the senators or representatives, which that needs to change. And there we go. Marigolds. D-Dog says marigolds, basil, rosemary controls insects. 1 gallon of water to 2 tablespoons baking soda and 2 drops of dish soap changes pH, and bugs don't like it. What you do for mosquitoes? I'm sure all naturals will not like this. I pretty much just use off myself. I either gonna suck it up or I'm gonna just spray some off. And my shorts out there, like when I go out later, I'll do off on my legs just because the little shits want to eat me, and I don't even know that they're biting me until after the fact. And I'm like, damn, look, I made up. They're getting free proteins, and it ain't happening. Massey also wants tournaments. Yeah. Man, that was such a good, and that's, you hear all the negative, and then there's that dude just, and he's walking it. He's not just spitting out the shit. He actually walks the talk, and he lives it. He wants to be this is what I'm going for. So it's an example even. Excuse me. Anti says pepper spray, molasses, and dish soap, oil spray, vinegar spray. Haven't been bit for 4 years. OMG, they're so bad now. Lordy, gonna suck me dry. Damn, wait, Colorado? Y'all got skeeters bad up in Colorado? I thought y'all got cold enough up there. Skin so soft from Avon. It's a great skeeter. Oh, yeah, there you go, Scat Pack. I've heard that. Mosquitoes are not bad this year yet. Peppermint is a natural repellent of mosquitoes. Peppermint repels cats too, doesn't it? I think cats don't like peppermint. I need a yard full of peppermint. Gets rid of the skeeters and the cats. Babooyah. White deodorant for mosquito bites to help stop the itching and swelling. Found these little bracelets that's mosquito repellent. Looks good on the littles. Yeah, but see what's in those bracelets, Amy? Because it's kind of like the dog. Remember the dog things that they would make that thick little material and you put it on, and here this keeps fleas and ticks away. But then you wonder, well, what is in those that you're soaking in? I mean, I'm not one to talk. I spray off on my damn legs. So, but I was thinking of the little ones. Couldn't find the mosquito plant this year. Oh my God, rescue, come over here, leave a little, take a little. Remember my napalm and flamethrowers. Catnip is a mint. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want none of that. Oh, getting rid of one of the little roosters, the little one. Gonna give him away, and I might end up keeping the two. Alamo is definitely staying. That's Alamo, and he's doing good. You'll see him later, I think. But I'm gonna try to get something set up. I just got to get those limbs now cleaned up before I fence that in. Because I just don't need 3 roosters, Kiss Off. It's nothing bad. He's not bad, hell. It's just that I don't need 3 roosters, and then they'll just end up being. That could end up being more harmful to the hens, because then you got basically 3 roosters in there with, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 hens. So you figure 3 roosters with 7 hens, So I figure the other 2, I'll see how that goes, as long as it don't, because Alamo's real chill. He hasn't been doing that. It's like, I don't know. So that's, yeah. How many you have now? Well, when these 2 right here go outside here, soon I get these limbs done and tend to that, I'm going to introduce these 2, and then there's, I got 5 hens, only 3 laying. The other 2 aren't laying yet. They're still, I guess, they should be getting close. I forgot see, I got to look up whenever. That's the first batch I hatched. I just can't remember when it was, but as of right now, I have 7 hens, because these 2 are hens. So then I'll end up with 7 hens, and I'm hoping the 2 roosters work. I think if I give them more room, it'll work. And now that with the fence up and everything, and I'm going to create an internal fence, then they'll do better with more room. I will say, man, it gets very mentally frustrating out there, because you got to I know what I need to do, and I just got to figure out a different way to do it now. And then sometimes I'm kind of out of options, because it's like, damn, this is where you need a winch, or this is a come along, and it's just that kind of shit, or traction, which I need to get with Nunya. He's got some tires. I put him on the mower, then that should give me some traction. Off to make a buck or 2. See y'all somewhere soon. Right on, Carl. Hey, don't run the thread through your fingertips. D-Dog, rescued you name chicken sandwich yet? No. Got peanut butter and jelly here, or peanut butter and jam. Got Alamo. Of course, Anti seems to think this is pound cake, but peanut butter. But we'll go with peanut butter pound cake. I don't know. Maybe I could name that other little rooster out there, that Alamo's brother. Make that sandwich. Make him sandwich in Alamo. It's an Alamo sandwich. And then, yeah, I don't know. That's why they just need more room, man. I don't know. What's up, crazy hillbilly? Morning. Yeah, they just need more room. I think that's what they really need. I don't think I'm the person to do the confined space. I think I could do that for a few. It was one thing, but now I look at that and go, man, y'all look so confined. And I want to just let them run loose, but I don't want them to get under the house and shit like that, because I don't want to just like hear over here because one's been taken out by some damn cat or some shit in the back corner where I can't get to with my chair. So that's why I just need a fence off a section so then they can kind of go into there and do their thing. Yeah, I just thought that was and that was very encouraging and nice to see that they're not all bad. I like the little Marjorie Taylor Greene lady. She seems, but then but that guy, man, it shows it. There it is. He lives it. He goes home to that. He wants away. It's like he gets it. I don't know that I would move to Kentucky because I'd have to kind of see then how the whole rest of the state goes. But because one thing about being in a small state, you got to wonder what are the resources of the state, or are they relying on the government type things? So, see, I think that's one thing that makes Texas a little different. We're big enough that we get in bed with the government, but we don't do it out of a need because we could self-sustain too. A couple of days ago, 3 of the grandbabies were here. We had chicken noodle soup, and they still call it BB soup. The BB soup. Yeah, I hadn't seen no videos about him. I guess he's okay, or he's a chicken sandwich. Hadn't seen no updates on him. I know you can. I feel bad for them because they're in there, and they just look like they're in a yard, in a prison yard or something. It's like they're all up around the fence, going, "Hey, check out freedom over there." They just, I don't know. I guess it works on me. I'm probably not the best chicken farmer. I'm cool for tending to things, but that whole confinement shit, I ain't a big fan. So what do y'all got planned for today? It's a Monday. So what? Let's just look at the weather. What is the weather looking like? Radar. Yes, I just don't know what I'm going to do with it, Scat Pack. Oh, yay. What, another batch coming in? This is just great. Well, it looks like up around Oklahoma and New Mexico's got some rain. Strung across Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. There's like a line. Looks like a showers. I ain't no Ryan Hall, y'all, and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn, so ain't no weatherman for me. Bear, Colorado, and yes, it stripped even the pine trees. So much damage. My pickup totaled, houses broke windows. It's a mess. Oh, goodness gracious. Planting beans and another 10 pounds of taters. Oh, shoes, Nick. Look at you. I'm amazed the trees are growing back leaves. Well, it's amazing the things that are created, that are, created by the creator, God. Well, that's how I refer to it. And those are self-sustaining. It's amazing. What needs to refreshes. What doesn't, serves another purpose. It's only man-made stuff that has to be babysat and maintained and catered to, and nurtured, and I don't know. Kind of weird how that goes. Sorry I had to take a call, but I'm back. Well, welcome back, Blackbird. Welcome back. Hope it was a good news call. So did you have fun at the meetup? I bet it was awesome. It looked like it was awesome when y'all were doing the Marauder deal. Then I know last year when we went, it was pretty awesome. Hey, Kim's Creation. Morning. Rescue the world is self-correcting. It is. It's us that we interrupt things. We have bright ideas. Hey, I know. Why don't we do? And it's that has another longer effect. Well, I don't know if it's still up, Scat Pack, but it was on Hutch's. It says Missouri Meetup 24, I think, and it was on Hutch's. I'll see if I can. Let's see. Bingo, bam, bam. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. By the way, I noticed old Carl, boy, he did him a long one. I guess I missed it. Well, the grandson was here. Come on. Hey, Michigan, you make it a good day, brother. I'm glad the kids are doing good. Okay, that's just some batshit crazy stuff. Unless maybe it's just not there. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not there. So no video. I don't know if that's maybe he's editing it, or maybe they just decided to take it down, but yeah, it's not there. It was. Hillbilly's birdhouses are a hit at the Marauders. Thought I got mine last year. Right? Got to run rescue, make a good okay. Oh, Doug and Stacy. Yeah, that I just at first I tried, but well, yeah, isn't that the last live before the meetup though? I don't think that's because the giveaway one was there and you could see the park and everything. I don't think I didn't see it. It's not up. Rescue go to live on Hutch's channel. It's there. That's not the meetup though, Eric. That's not the meetup. You need to click it and look at it. That's not the meetup. That was him and Backwoods and oh, Oh, I forget his name. Anyway, they were talking about the meetup. That was the last live before the meetup. The actual Marauder giveaway. You can see the picnic table. You see everybody sitting around. And it's not there no more. Yeah, but POTB. What'd you think, Blackbird, about the tailgate grill shit? That's a pretty badass little setup, wasn't it? That old little tailgate system is pretty cool. Stacy has a good video on processed chicken. Yeah, I ain't knocking them. I just there's too much of that. See this, and nobody encourages that local school board, local county mayor, or city mayor, county judge. Nobody talks about the local stuff. It's just all. And now they're doing this, and look at what they're doing here. And it's like, man, you're keeping people too distracted. People need to focus on self-sustaining and participating in their local system, or relocating into a local system you want to participate into. It's on Gale Southern Living too. Oh, okay. I promise one of these years when I get some freedom, I'll come see you guys and cook. Oh, look at you, Kim's. Oh, no worries, Eric. I just figured I didn't know if you were aware of that. I got all the cooking toys I want to get me a Class C RV one of these days. You be the mobile chef, Kim's. Be like Kim's Creations on the move. Hey, what's up, Kush? Love, grace, peace, joy in Jesus' name. Amen, sir. Amen. I want a little bus. Man, you know what? I would like some kind of, I just wish a good times van. I used to not make fun of, but I never visualized being in that position. But I tell you what, it sounds ironic, but I wish I just had this one of them damn little good time kind of vans that had the little ramp thing and it goes, and you can just kind of go in and out with your chair. It's no big deal. You just pull up, go in the store, come back out, come up, get in. That would be cool. And then I thought, man, a good old fashioned U-Haul truck. I don't give a shit. Just open the door to the cab, make that, and drive up the ramp in the chair in the back. Me and Rhea just parking in the back. Blackbird wants a short bus. The short bus, not the short bus. You want the short bus? Man, oh man. I don't know. I just think that there's too much can'ts or shouldn'ts, or we just need more can do. We need a can do attitude. And all I can picture is like the little old cartoons, the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. And it's like, I don't know. What happened to those moments? When did people just give up? I mean, good old Rosie the Riveter, and we can do this, and we're strong, and we're united, and that whole messaging, we just let them flip script on us. And we need to bring that shit back. So we can do things. You can do things. You can put your mind to something, and in whatever way is best for you to absorb that information, you need to do it that way, so that then you can learn anything you want to learn. You really can, you know. It's putting the effort in. It's, are you willing to sacrifice something else? Nothing worth having comes easy. So nothing worth having comes easy. That's a given. Because there's too many people that beat them down, break their spirit. Yep. So much negativity, man. You know, the resistance, that force to always push back. So it's, if Blackbird had a short bus, we will all get driven around. Yeah, I could see that, Scat Pack. I could see you having a flower power wagon. And then she be during the meetup, and all I can say is I was high and dry. Literally speaking, huh, Blackbird? Well, thank you, Sherbert. Yeah, you just look at the messaging that everything is about. It's a bunch of whining, or this is wrong, or can't do this, and oh my God. It's just, there's no, well, let's just do it. You know, get this over with. Get that, push through it. There, it's accomplished. It's done. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to walk the missus to the door. She's fixing to be going in. I'll be back. And here, we'll do the little medicate my mind stuff.
2, 3. Give me just a minute. No need to be unkind. Even I got a limit. One problem at a time. Yeah, these hills are getting high. The way I'm going, but my wheels are all in line. Yeah, got to keep on rolling. I'm a darkness reaching for daylight. I'm a spring that needs to unwind. I'm a wreck, but everything's alright. Just as long as I can medicate my mind. Medicate my mind. Everybody in a hurry, heading down their own track. Ain't gonna worry, let it roll right off of my back. I'm a stranger to this world, but I keep on growing. Life will try to put you out, yes it will, but I keep on glowing. Yes I am. I'm the darkness reaching for daylight. I'm a spring that needs to unwind. I'm a wreck, but everything's alright. Just as long as I medicate my mind.
Booyah. All right, let's see what I missed. I know I missed something. I came in time to see the no regrets, and I just immediately thought of the commercial with the no regrets. On that note, I seen a YouTube of Alexa Glow predicting the future. It was all gloom and doom. I could believe that. Now I'm going to be singing Wheels on the Bus. Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round. Wheels on the bus go. It's better than Baby Shark. Well, you know what? There's a clip of Tucker Carlson at a Kid Rock concert, and he does the intro. And in that intro, he even says, he said, you know, the country, the America that they show me on TV sucks and is screwed up, but the America right outside your door for some people doesn't suck. And it was like, wow, man, that really, because I get it in a way. I try to understand where people that are closer to these metropolitan cities and these bigger cities. Hell, most of y'all probably live around cities that are bigger than my whole county. I don't really have no answer for that. So it's one of them things I've just kind of learned it. And I think I played into reacting. Kim says, all right, well, I'm a couple hours behind this morning, kids, so I'm going to get started. I'll catch y'all later somewhere. Right on, Kim's. Make it a good day. It helps being medicated. Medication. And I know there's all that. I don't know. It's just kind of weird how you can't, it's just how, I don't know. The negativity, the like I said, the anti-accomplishment. It's like, no, can't do anything. And just kind of, what a trip. What a trip. I hope the rain don't move into here, but it's showing a cloud. We had barbecue, Baby Shark, and we ate the effing sheep. I tell you what, I used to have a friend, man, he used to love black tip shark. I'd bring him some, and he lived in the woods, never did no seafood stuff really, never been nowhere. I mean, he would eat like whatever was running shrimp. I actually brought him in sometime from offshore, some black tip shark. Son, it was, next thing I know, that dude was bugging me all the time. Hell, I'd have to have the bird with the food on it and then my gear. Crazy. I'm so over seafood. I don't really give a shit. I do like, well, no, because that's not even really seafood, because that's crawfish. But I don't mind some shrimp in some Cajun food. But it was actually a wonderful time with a lot of good people. Cool, Blackbird. Yeah, I know, man. Which I've met like Lady Smith, Monique. Wasn't that kind of cool how Sophie, Ohio, and Monique just kind of surprise? I thought that was kind of cool. I hope they're safe on the road, if they're still on the road. I hope all the people traveling are safe. Yeah, because that was at first wasn't going to. There was reasons, but then we thought about it. But then she got this job offer and she ended up taking it. So it's like, well, that just reset everything for a year, because now it's Monday through Friday, and it'll be a year before you earn the vacation time off. So maybe next year, since it was right around that time, maybe that'd be like the first little vacation time offering, depending on where we're at in the country. We'll see what happens come November, man, and where the states end up afterwards. Some don't know. Wrap great salmon in a wet, damp newspaper and put it on the barbecue grill. Unbelievably delicious. What, to smoke it though? I don't know. Why would you want to do newspaper? Don't you get the ink in your fish? I mean, you can't even hold a newspaper without getting the ink on your hands. I would wrap it in maybe butcher paper, or we got smoking paper, butcher paper. I think it's the same shit, just they got the wax on it. That, or most of the time down here, it's just foil. Put your damn fish in a foil. Now, I will say there's some people that do the big leaf thing. I don't know what that plan is, but it puts out the big green leaves and they'll wrap it up in that. I don't know if they get that bright ass idea from the Hawaiian stuff or what, but hey, looky there. It's 8 o'clock Central Time. Just do it. No, thank you. One, we don't have any salmon down here where I'm at. So ain't no salmon happening. So any salmon around me is not from here. And two, I'm sorry, brother. I just can't do no newspaper action on my food. I'd rather put a piece of notebook paper. I'd rip a damn composition book out and wrap it up before I'd probably do newspaper. Now, newspaper is really good for cleaning your windows. It doesn't streak the glass. Right, Blackbird, it's the only time zone that matters. Central. That's why it's central. See, I keep explaining this to people and y'all just don't get it. It's central time zone for a reason, because this is the central point. The rest of y'all lean off of us. You know, some people like to think that they're an hour ahead because, oh, we got here first, but really not. And then you got people that are really dragging ass way over here that are a couple hours behind us. But we're the central point. That's why it's called central time zone. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. Maybe you don't like the message, but don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. Did my wifey thing, breakfast for Chuck E. Cheese. Man, I hope he gets to feeling better, Kissel. So is it like just like the flu cold stuff, or is it his diabetic stuff? What do you mean sick for 4 days? That's kind of a little long-term shit, isn't it? Gross. Salmon, how clean is the fish with all the crap they pour in? Well, I guess it depends on where you get the salmon from, because some of these streams on up there, where people in the mountains and stuff, got some good-looking salmon. Oh, it's the flu? Well, dang, man. Get to feeling better. I was sent a recipe. I'll send it to you. For a little concoction to mix up to help knock that stuff out. Wild kokanee on a cedar plank. Kind of sounds good. Well, that's how, you see people doing the wood stuff for smoke. And I'm just not a fish person. Been decades. I'll catch you some catfish. I don't eat it. I mean, it's not that I dislike it per se. I'm just burnt out on fish, so I don't do fish. And it seems like more that they try to take the red meat away, the more I just want to eat steak. Fish fucking the water you drink. Well, not my water. I got to say that, because mine's coming out of the ground. So unless it's some kind of microbial fish swimming through. But then again, look at the people that live around metropolitan cities or in some of these concentrated states. The air you breathe is the very people on the street corners air. They exhaled into that. They farted into that. Nasty. Morning, Tiger. And by the way, morning, Turning Guns. I think I've been staying on top of everybody. G-Mom Merkel, I think I even said morning to you. They don't swim in my water. I have my nurse outfit on. Oh, Lord. You mean your mortician outfit? We all breathing dinosaur air. Nah, that got washed away with the flood. This is all just human funk now. I gotta say, Glenn Beck did an interview with a guy that connected science with the Bible, you know, and Genesis and stuff, the creation. And I gotta say, man, it was rather interesting. Rather interesting. And it was in an acknowledgement of the creator, so it wasn't like taken away from it, but it was, I like the scientific connection. He actually, you know, it's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Indy? Morning. Man, it's really early for her. See, she's one of those that drags behind a couple hours. I'm just picking. I was picking on the 2 hours behind Indy, you know, being central time zone. Oh my cow farts. Right, Skep Heck? The cow farts. I don't even understand. See, people say things like that up there out loud, and it's like, how do people around that heard that the first time didn't just bust out laughing? Like, you know, the first time that got brought up, you would think that would have just been like a comedian's joke or something. It's like crazy, man. That actually picked up speed. It's like, what? Really? Really? Cow farts? What about the horses and everybody else? Hell, what about all the people? There's more people than there are cows. What's up, Dennis? Morning. Song of the South. KP Heathen. There you go, song. Yeehaw. Hot damn. Pacific is all that really counts. It's just because you ain't caught up yet, G-Mom Merkel, but it's okay. There's a place for everybody. What's up, Anthony? Morning. Get slaying their stuff all over everything when I go after them. Right. Today, my son starts his journey in the Marines. Right on, KP Heathen. Well, a little nerve wracking, I'm sure. At least it's the Marines. I mean, I'm like all our branches, and I did the Army thing, but under these current conditions, at least I think the Marines are maintaining some balance still. So that is right on. Hopefully, when this gets straightened out and he doesn't. But shit, man. I'm sure that's kind of nerve wracking, actually. I got baby tomatoes on my plants, right on D-Do. Some grub, bub. Sorry, Indy had to kill a yellow jacket. Chuck was freaking out. Tiger says she's got blooms on a couple of her tomatoes. Calm down, Chuck. They don't want you. Yellow jackets like to just sting for stinging, though. They're not as aggressive as a red wasp, but hey, they're little shitheads too. Just not very big ones. Marines, Army is a 4-letter word. Well, this is true. Man, we need, see, and it's not like we need our soldiers to be soldiers. We need our people to be people again, Need a moral compass. Need drive, fortitude, strength, need encouragement. Pull up your bootstrap kind of mentality. It's like, I don't know, this whole quitterism. We need to stop with all this quitterism. What's up, fish sticks? Blue butterfly, morning. It's the can-do attitude. The will-do attitude. That's what we need. What's up, Savage Lee? 1911. Oh, well, D-Dog, you ready for me? You want me to ruffle a few feathers? It's sad that the men that we do have won't stand up and encourage men to be men. So, well, it's sad that there's men that won't stand up and act like a man. But what's really sad is that the men that are here won't stand up and encourage them to be men. It's need to we need to get back to basics. What's up, Miss Teresa? Morning. Wasp sting occurs when a female wasp injects venom into your skin. A wasp bites occurs when a wasp uses its mantle to bite and tear your skin for defensive purposes. Yeah, well, it's the stinging part. I don't ever worry about being bit by their mandrels. It's that stinging. It's that little hypodermic that shoots out their ass that has that burning effect. It's that moment. Man, oh man, what, 8:15? Turn them all into video game players. Let's hear it for the boys. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, I think of today's recruitment, all I get is a visual picture of Richard Simmons in camo. Hell, I don't know, man. Is it even, I think it's even worse than the Richard Simmons days. I mean, because, man, some of that shit is just, matter of fact, have you heard about the latest? The latest thing was during the SOCOM change of command. All of a sudden, there was a gay porn. It was a black dude on the screen doing self-sustaining things to himself. And that was, right during the SOCOM, Special Operations Change of Command. Big screen, Zoom call, boom. It's crazy, dude. D-Dog says, when I see a man acting like a little bitch, I ask, who lit the fuse on your tampon? Just trying to wake you up. If you ever see me in spandex, you're dead because you're apparently in hell and you're seeing some kind of nightmare because that shit will never happen. So, just saying. I have a memory of meeting Richard Simmons that always cracks me up. Right on, Indy. Well, got to fly and get some shit done. Time to kick the tires and light the fires. Hey, keep it between the mustard and the mayo. Keep your head on a swivel and make it a good day, Blackbird. Be safe. And if you go by the store, pick up something extra because just remember, it ain't getting cheaper tomorrow. That's probably one thing, as people always keep that in mind as your week by week or whatever the pay scale is or income type thing is you might look at just picking up a little something extra, it's, and I don't mean like the prepping gear per se. I'm not taking away from that, but man, just even if it's an extra bag of flour or an extra can of soup or an extra thing of coffee, but because it's just, that's a given until next year. I don't know. It ain't going to get no better. It ain't going to get no better. We got a little ways to go. It's always darkest before the dawn. Wouldn't surprise me Washington types are in with it, with the Hollywood type, blood drinking, baby killer, devil worshippers, a whole lot of vipers in my opinion. Oh, you ought to rewind too after we get done, Savage, or you can do it now. It's cool either way, but you ought to go back and there's about a 30-minute run that I did, and I did I showed a deal, kind of like I won't say an interview. It was just kind of a self description of Thomas Massey out of Kentucky, and man, I got to say that representative changes the dynamics. There are some good people up there. You just got to try to find them and then start backing them and pointing out what's good about them, and then get other people in other states to back that kind of people. There needs to be a law of weight limit on spandex and everywhere. Oh, Lord have mercy. I said that ever since I came out with that shit. Nope, just working on the can. Oh, okay, cool, Blackbird. Blackbird, you work for me. It could be the camp from the meetup. Never know. Never know. Pants from hell, spandex. I'm cracking up. Oh, Lord. I will say Ghost is going to be having the leggings. He's going to be doing prints on leggings. I don't know if they've come out yet, but he was going to be ghostdesigns.shop. Just want to say hello to all my fellow Americans. I've got a busted clutch in my Jeep to fix. Time for Mr. Goodwrench. Right on, Song of the South. Hey, be sure and be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Make it a good day. Make it a good day. Help somebody else make it a good day. Perpetuate that shit. My constant stacking, that is about the only thing I prep anymore is the basics. What I can, where I can. But really what little money I get goes to my guns on it. Well, and you know what? I tell you what, I thought about Savage too, is like if you have like a solar panel type system, maybe extra parts of that along the way. Like I'm an electric chair, so I'm actually gonna look at see what about trying to in the next couple of months getting me an extra charger for my chair in case something were to happen to that one. Little things like that. I mean, even if you went kind of weird shit like an extra set of tires, kind of if you could afford them, because it's just if you think you're going to need these in 6 months, it's just going to be higher then. So anything you could try to go ahead and buffer now. That's why I said I don't mean it like in so much a prepper perspective, but just overall, if 2-cycle oil for your chainsaw or weed eater or something. Well, if you got X amount of jugs, if you can go ahead and get a extra jug now, it's just going to be cheaper than it will be in 6 months. Thanks, Kiss Off. Yeah, that's the link. There you go. And I'll upload that video. Matter of fact, see, that's what I should be trying to do is upload that video. Hold on, I was going to see if I go ahead and there we go. Okay. There we go. Man, all these stupid windows now. I don't know, all this extra add cards, add in screen, subtitle. I don't know, man. Just upload the damn video. Yeah, okay. Yeah, public. There you go. Yep, okay. Publish. Okay, so you got to keep that tab open. It's got 3 minutes. It's uploading. Excuse me. Okay, so it'll be uploading to the video section when it gets finished. As long as they don't ban me like, oh, no, no, no. So what I miss? Seba says, yes, I have some solar power for my video surveillance, but as far as things like that, yeah, I'm a homeowner, landlord, so a couple of houses there. There you go, Savage. You look like a busty can of biscuit. Sure. What all that? Oh, biscuits that come in a can are cheater biscuits. I'm not a can of busted biscuits. Maybe, oh Lord have mercy. I done got on the biscuit move. I have a pair of blue jeans I keep. When I can't fit in them, I stop eating. I can't carry a lot of weight. Kills my dog walking. There you go. Hey man, it's the sugars. You got to watch the sugars. Sugars are just, this shit's so bad for you. Kepak says, I still have 2 pairs kissed off from my daughter when she was in high school. She got kids now. Well, depending on where you're at, Kepak, that doesn't mean she's not in high school anymore. Oh, I'm just saying. My marker, are they cheating with the can of cookies? Oh, Lord. They say be your own bank / 9/11. Well, I am my own hardware store. There you go, Savage. Man, I remember back in the day, that's what we used to do. It's like if you went and bought a faucet, you would go ahead and get extra parts for the faucet. You know, if you got another chainsaw, then you'd get extra filters, chains, oil. Just, I don't know. Now, see, because it's slowly been conditioned to just replace it. It's like leasing cars instead of buying a good car and maintaining it. I feel a Springer episode coming, right? Oh man. Yeah, I think we're gonna, I don't know. I'm gonna try to. I said it before, but I'm still trying to figure out what the hell to do because I I literally try to search for the good things. What does it say? So apparently now it's doing a check, and then it should be up there off the grid with Thomas Macy. Well, that's what I do when I go buy that stuff. I buy two, then there's one where I write all that off. Pretty much, Savage. Well, see, and you do that with the rental thing, but it's just nowadays you can do that with even the smallest things because it's just there's nothing positive being done on the production side of things. So, there's nothing coming online. There's no that's we're not there yet. So it's just that means it'll just slowly get a little bit worse before it does get better. When are you and GTP going to do a live together? I don't know, Tiger. Uh, I sent him a message because we were going to talk and didn't see what's up. And he got D-Dog up here one day doing a walkthrough on his garden too. Sophie has a cool little garden going. I don't know if y'all noticed all that stuff that she got from that place or whatever. And then, man, she got all these bed full of greens. I think my biggest problem is going to be the soil, man. It's getting some dirt, some soil to grow in because I live on a slope, so it's not like I can just kind of do it right there on the surface. It'll just wash it off. So it's getting loads of soil brought in. And there you go, Tiger. Anti says to look at your Discord. It's a battle. It is a battle putting positivity into a negative world. Oh, well, because especially the way that the rhetoric is now, you know, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just what a weird world. I share my feelings, I share my thoughts. People can consider that some kind of sissification. I don't give a shit. It's just because you don't know me. And, but I don't see nothing wrong because I do it just to help. I mean, hell, if it's somebody else thinks something, they go, well, I don't know, man. There was that dude and he was talking about like that. And it causes your thought to change off of a negative path and works for me. So but somehow I need to figure out a way to, I don't know. I need to be productive. That's what's very frustrating right now for me is I don't feel very productive. And I'm not a complacent, just want to, that's how I get depressed. I don't want to be here. I'm done. It's like if I can't do something positive and I don't know, if I just can't feel like I'm accomplishing something, then see, it's like, okay, well, that's that. Not saying that that's what goes in my, I mean, there's days I kind of ask, going, hey, just so we're clear, I mean, this is all cool, but I'm cool if it's time for me to go. Just saying. Because it's just, I don't know. But I try not to. Matter of fact, I kind of shame myself because then I think, man, that's like a defeatist attitude, you know, kind of like depression. You get yourself low enough, you got to fight to get back up. Try to stay away from the dark hole. Yep. Well, because it gravitates, you know, it'll gravitate you towards it because it's just, there's, you know, you have to change the directive in order for you to kind of see the silver lining in things, especially with so much negativity around. I mean, and nowadays with the whole digital world, it's really, it's really out there. It there's so many variations, you know. I mean, we call them rabbit holes, you can call them whatever now, but it's really, it's all just, it's all just pointless crap because it should all be it's like how many people will spend time with all the rabbit hole conspiracy, whatever, politics, all the shit, but haven't been working or building on the family unit. You know, that's where I do feel lost around here sometimes because I don't know how I could ever fix the damage that I did by not knowing things and kind of where we're at. So I don't know how I can mend the relationships. I don't know how I correct that. You know, my kids are how they are. They were raised in an environment of negative and hate, and not by me, but towards me, from my in-laws and everybody else. Because I used to be very loud spoken. I just, and what I thought was right, but I was missing the mark, and I see it now. But it just, I don't know. And you kind of get tired. And that's why sometimes I guess I got frustrated on here because, yeah, I would see this as almost like an encouragement. You know, this was a positive thing. This was a, hey, wow, this is cool, you know. But then it became, it's people are unhappy. And so it's more sadness, more anxiety, more depression, more negative. And it just doesn't. And I think that's what perpetuates me. Hey, morning, Lady Sky. Nice to meet you. Well, you've been here. And that's pretty cool, Savage. I like that. Melted down to make your wedding bands, man. See, that's theirs. That's how you do it. Here sick this morning, but listening. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Papas? Yeah, I'm sorry you're going through that shit. If I could wave the wand. But no, that's why I just got, and I'm trying to figure out some way to just kind of still maintain a connection here, but do it out of with something positive, man. Just got to have something positive, you know. Yeah, I've been in your chair, man. I thought so, Lady Sky. My bad. $2.25. He went under one rounds. Well, that's just cool. Just the whole backstory to it's cool, Savage. I mean, just of doing that for that purpose is just cool in itself. Anti-rescue. Just curious, did you have to change or distribute this, especially? No, no, I'm not real. I don't go to it too much though because it doesn't. I don't know if it's them or if it's just my distro or what. Which even did it on Windows, but it just, I don't know. It acts kind of goofy, so I don't know if it's. I don't know. The coding on that is so weird. Hey, morning, Miss Meadow. Hopefully y'all made it back home okay. Or in the process, I guess. Now, this is Monday morning at 8, so yeah, what are y'all are fixing to be heading out on the road, or you're supposed to pay yourself first? That's in all things, not just finance. Right, G. Ma Merkel? Well, you should, but yesterday at work, I accidentally hosed it with bleach. It looked awful. A little polish. Bling, back to shiny. There you go. Rainwater. Hey, morning, Rainwater. You know, sunny side up. So, doing pretty good, I reckon. How do they say that? Can't complain. Well, I could, but it wouldn't do no good. Oh, there, that thing is posted now. So that video, it's up under videos on my thing, the Off Grid with Thomas Massey. Anybody interested? What am I looking? Oh, Anti Tiger's wondering what she's looking for on Discord. If your happy bucket is running low, do something nice for someone else. God gave you a fuzzy feeling on purpose. There you go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Not happening. Not happening. No, still here breaking it down now. Got to get Shorty back to the airport by noon. Oh, there you go. Well, tell Miss Shorty I said hello. Hello, Governor. Man, that lady came all the way from California. She was there last year too. Yeah, it was funny. Last year she won a like a hatchet deal, and she was on the bus. She did a bus ride all the way from California out there. Son, what a ride! That and Roots was there. Roots last year made a good little jump, so I'm assuming it was the same kind of hop, skip, and jump this year. Yeah, I'm still bumbling around this morning. Morning chores are almost done. Still have to wash my dishes. Oh, there you go, Savage. Yeah, whenever I shut this down, then I'm gonna do some biscuits and sausage, and then I'll be going outside. And I don't know, I might stream just, and y'all can all come and go and chat or something. And I gotta get out there before, if it doesn't rain. If it rains, I'm totally screwed. I don't know what the hell, man. This is just gets. See, it's so easy to kind of just perpetuate of what all's wrong, and I just got to figure out a way to put the brakes on. Got to remind myself, just take it one thing at a time and try to just push the ball forward. Might not look like much, but it just make a little dent. And by the way, I hope Bri had good luck with the court. I think Bri said something about having a court appointment or something. Hopefully that goes smooth. My wife has a doctor's appointment this morning. Leaving a couple hours. Well, hopefully it won't. Hopefully it won't be bad stuff. Is it just kind of like one of those? Well, I hate to say maintenance or routine kind of things, or is it like a check on stuff, or is hopefully nothing's taking a turn for the worse or nothing? I feel bad for all the rain. Yeah, it's one of the things. You know what? If I was walking around, it wouldn't be that big a deal. I would just go out there. I'd be doing it like I've always done it. It's just this stupid chair, man. It's the stupid ass chair and the grade. But the batteries do help, so that part helps. Wish I'd get some rain fixing to turn into beef jerky out here. Hey, we had it if you were just a little more southern. Not too much more before you'd be at the coast, but if you're a little more southern, you'd get plenty. We're still got the river flood watch going. We'll have that for a while because it's just everything that collects up north. Shit runs downhill. That's a given. It rained here all day Saturday. Oh dang, Tiger. Well, did it rain at the meetup like all day? And did you make it to the meetup, Tiger? Oh, pardon me. I didn't go this right. That's right. Okay. Oh, it's a direct message. So on Discord, you should notice up in your little part that you'll have a little notification, and if you click on it, it'll be from Anti. So it won't be in like one of the channels; it'll be to yours. Well, I don't know. Let's see, 2 hours, 40 minutes. Got 31 of y'all in here, which I appreciate everybody. Hopefully it just, I don't know, hanging out, talking. Hopefully it just encourages some positive stuff. There's so much negative. I mean, what's sad is you'll probably leave here and you're going to go to a channel and it'll be, might not hear another word all day about getting involved local and, trying to feel you just, and that's really sad. That's what maybe y'all do, or I just don't get a lot of that in my feed. So if I get on YouTube and I'm looking around, it just doesn't. It's always there's this, and oh my God, look at this, and oh my God, they're doing this, and oh no, you see what they're going to do next, and it's like nobody, even the on Homestead, you don't see too much, on the gardening. Now there is like a couple of the gardening channels I follow. And it's kind of cool to listen to them. It's way out of my league because they get to talking about, all the real planning shit. And I'm just doing it because it's cool. But just as I put the Trump signs out and the solar red, white, and blue lights in the yard. There you go, Kizzo. Yep, you've been here since earlier. Yeah, it just, man, we gotta somehow, we need to remind people that we just somehow we get involved in. It's like, I don't know. It's like with that Thomas Massey guy, which I think last night on Bonnie's I might have said Kevin Massey. I don't know. It just, the video's up now, so now I'm self-corrected. But it's really getting down to basics. It's like on the federal side. Well, that's okay. Find those representatives. There you go. And if that's, find those kind of people in your local environment, and if it's not possible and, it's just that bad, then I really don't know. So then I'm, all I can do is say, I'm sorry. I don't really have no clue. But man, it just, as you listen to stuff, listen what is the positive in what you're listening to? Like if you were to take something away, whether you listen to somebody for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, it don't make a shit. If you listen to something, reflect on that and say, okay, what positive can I just take out of that? You know, what positive that's going to do something for my family, my life, my area? What's something positive that I got out of that? And if you can't find something, maybe that's something to think about, because it's garbage in, garbage out. So maybe it's what, you know, you don't want to feed your cattle a bunch of crap and then process that meat and expect it to be top quality meat. It's what goes in matters on what comes out. Well, it's the same thing with us. If you put garbage into your head and you put the I can't, the quitterness, if you let that get into your head, it'll take over, because there is so much negative. Hell, the car won't start, the tire's flat, the mower won't crank, you know. The weeds are tall. It just, there's always something to go bitch about, kind of deal, you know. So it's why you got to watch. And man, with this digital platform, it's so easy to just tune in to instant negativity. And it's like, and there's intentional effort put in right now. There's intentional effort. Now, it's not by everybody, but just like there's, when you have stolen stuff, you have thieves, and you have corruption. Well, there's intentional people out here to create that anxiety, that stress, that division. You know, your yes should be yes and your no should be no, but you need to make sure you're righteous in your stance. No one has said a word so far. I have a Trump t-shirt all the time. My two favorite garden channels are Am I a Gardener or Gardener with Gina. Both their zone 6A like me. Oh, there you go, D-Dog. Yeah, one I got is Gardening with Jill. I think she's out of Alabama. I think that lady is. And then there's another couple. And I don't know. I think they're over. Now they might even be like a Wyoming kind of thing, or Idaho. I don't watch much because I can't really do much. So I just get kind of I've got to slow. See, there's where I use it also. Not so much just the negative political bullshit, but just in, man, I get to watching stuff and I get kind of excited and get ideas going, oh yeah. But then I go to implement it and I realize how limited I am on the way I can do things. And I have to rethink things. And okay, well, I ain't got quite that to be able to do it that way. So I have to, and it kind of gets me upset sometimes too. So I got to watch how much I kind of actually encourage myself, if that's kind of weird, because I'm used to just doing, man. You just do. And I don't understand why that's such a, I would trade with people. All these people that want to quit and not do a damn thing. It's like, I'll trade with you. Although I don't know if that weak backbone could sustain my structure, because it takes a stronger backbone to maintain the structure. Right now, shit, the physical spine's starting to give out. The 1911 is a great accessory for any outfit. It matches everything, right? Good old classic 1911. That good metal on metal sound. There's just something about that. Just has that machined feel. Basics. Carry my 45 as a fashion statement symbol. Sure, I have a block type of wheel on it. I like my 1911 big old heavy sun beach too. I don't care. There you go, Savage. I have a wonder attitude. I wonder who. That's yeah. Well, I just life, man. Life will teach you all kinds of shit if you just. But then that's why I think it's so easy. Probably my saving grace is the sobriety that I did decades ago to get out of all the shit, and that's probably been my saving grace dealing with this. Is because I don't know. It's just because to get when you go to get sober, when you go to get that trash out of your life and that shit, you got to face the dragon. I mean, it is what it is. You can't run and hide from it. You know, there are people that make one crutch out of another, but if you want to break free from riding that dragon, you got to fight the dragon, and it is what it is. And I think that's actually what's kind of been kicking in now that I have time to, unfortunately, I have more time than I prefer to kind of slow down and process shit. But then again, you know, this could all be part of the thing because I would not have done good out on the streets during the masks. I would not have done good at work with a jab. And I would not interacting in a social environment during that time or the George Floyd shit. I would not. This was God's way of saying, you need to sit this one out. And I think he did it. So, and here I see it. Now I just got to figure out what to do. And I'll figure something out. I just got to figure out how. It's just like, that's why sometimes I get up here and I might sound like I'm, well, actually, there's times, hell yeah, man, I wish it would, like, man, I wish this was over right now. I'm ready. Let's just do it. But I don't maintain that stuff. So just to be clear, I don't maintain that. I can't live in that world. And maybe that's where I've reflected some of that frustration over to you guys and out onto the channel and with interacting with other people because, you know, I face my own turmoil and my own shit. And I process it. So just like everybody else reacts the way they react, giving off of the life that's going on and what they're dealing with on a real level day to day, you know. That's why I think I probably have ended up in arguments with people, but for their circumstances and where their life's at, yeah, man, maybe that's the way that they feel like it totally sucks and they don't see any daylight at the end of the tunnel. And now I'm trying to correct people, and I just need to stop doing that. And all I can tell you is there is light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't see it, you ain't tried hard enough. Might sound kind of cold, but it is what it is. If you don't see daylight at the end of the tunnel, you're just not trying hard enough. It is what it is. Don't mean no disrespect, but it's the truth is the truth. There's sacrifices that might need to be made at some point. You just haven't decided that you need to make those yet. When that moment happens, it's like in the old sobriety stuff and the recovering stuff. When you hit bottom, everybody's bottom is different. But when you hit bottom, then you'll bounce back. Well, you might not see no light at the end of the tunnel right now, but you might not be trying. How hard are you trying? Once again, nothing worth having is going to come easy. If it's just handed to you, it doesn't mean as much as when you put in. When you put in and actually put in the work, you have more vested in that action, the item, whatever the hell. And seeing that's why a corporation mentality, greed mentality, gluttony, it wants to feed into the, you know, you don't have to really try so hard. Hey, morning, Joe. You know, it's easy. It's easy with all the digital avenues and the old different styles now. It's not just the old radio or a newspaper or a few channels on TV. Now it's computers in your hand all the time. You know, social media by the hundreds, platforms. There's constant flow of communication. There's instant gratification now. So Now it's like this with all the corrupt stuff you see in the administration. To be honest, see, my perspective is like the Fauci stuff. I get tired of listening and watching the Fauci shit. I watched the hearing on the floor when it was doing. They're questioning him. I see that. Okay, I view that as they're gathering information because it's still a crooked administration. So until we change that, like in November, then nobody's really going to be accountable. But what they can do is keep everybody wound up on, see, nothing's going to happen. You shouldn't even expect anything to happen right now. My God, look at what the damn judicial side just did with Trump and all that court system shit. So you shouldn't really expect it. It should just encourage you and remind you of why it's important to participate in this November and to try to get your neighbors and your community together, get your state back in your county, talk with your state to get ready. It needs to change in November. That's when all of a sudden you can bring accountability. But if you don't change the people that are going to be doing it, then it's not going to happen. And see, I really, because I want to, man, I could feed on that. You don't hardly find that. And I think that there's millions of people that want the best for America. I think they're just been sidetracked. This guy says it in a way that I appreciate more than this. And it's different. Hazelnut coffee stuff Carol buys isn't bad. First cup of coffee in a month. Damn, son, you need some coffee. You got to have some Java, the go-go juice. Not that go-go juice. Not the high-speed chicken feed go-go juice, but the go-go juice is in the Java, the coffee. I don't know about hazelnut, though. I think I have had that. I don't know. Most of mine's the Colombian Classic Roast Folgers, and now I'm going to Community Coffee because it's cheaper, and I don't mind Community Coffee. Yeah, I've been paying zero attention to the news. I'm more focused on not starving to death or ending up on the streets again. There you go. It's amazing. That's right. Survival. The stuff that matters right outside your front door, where your front door is, the roof over your head. Moving forward in life. Sometimes you got to rebuild your character and who you are. That's like I did that back before my son was born. And it really, and I've said that story, I don't know how. It feels weird if I repeat stuff because I know there's people that have been here since the beginning, but there might be people that haven't. So I don't know. It just feels weird. But my son, man, when they handed me my son, I had cleaned up per se, but that character change, oh no, I need to be a different person was, man, when they turned and said, here's your son. And I put that little dude right there in one hand and his feet right here on my wrist. And it was like, it all changed. It all just changed. Sometimes maybe that's, if, that's why I said everybody's got a moment. Sometimes, hey man, it's like the good old fact. Some people hit bottom, some people never hit bottom. There's, get sober, get locked up, or get buried. And see, and now you look at the country and it's like, holy crap, all we got to do is get involved and we could change this, and people rap about the county and their county's doing this. And then you kind of go, yeah, but did anybody get involved? And then you kind of listen. That's why whenever that dude was talking, and I was like, wow, man, Thomas Massey, check it out. That's how he got in to politics, was like, wait a minute, county's doing what? And said no. And that's what we need more of. That's what we need more of. Usually do energy drinks, but I'm out. Oh, Lord, Joe. That shit's gnarly for you. But I ain't preaching to you, so my bad. I'm not saying that. I see the energy thing, and I lecture at my son because he's all about them energy things. And I'm like, man. But grown man, so he is what it is. Biggest pain for me is trying to keep a rifle handy throughout the day. Can be a pain sometimes because I like a 20 inch. Well, I guess. son, you live in such a hostile environment. You got to like walk around like you're on patrol. See, that's stuff. How did it get there? Did anybody decide to maybe look at it before it got to that point? And I'm gonna go outside. Where's my vest? Where's my chest gear? Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna go check the mail. It's like, man, did anybody ever like wonder what the hell happened to life before it reached to there? I mean, it's like, well, yeah, man, I watched it happen. I was watching it coming. I saw it. It was happening. They were doing it. I saw it. Yep. And then it's like, then all of a sudden you're there, and it's like, really, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, when I go outside, as far as, but it's not out of that philosophy for me. It's more out of the damn dogs or some shit, or I don't know. The Cluckin Alamo, where roosters don't sit around playing with their peckers, they do things and stuff. D-dog. I've got more doctor appointments lined up. I think Friday I'll meet some house coordinators. Oh, there you go, Joe. Typically keep my 20-inch AR handy just inside. That's what I keep. So that just gets me to a bigger. Yeah, I have to taper down on the booze again, so when I run out of money, I don't die. But this is true, Joe. You know, your body was actually built to sustain you. It requires very little, in all honesty. We just gotta not put so much garbage inside and let things work the way they're supposed to. I usually just wear my 1911. So it's the same here, but I tend to travel a bit. Need to come up with a rifle bag that doesn't look like. Oh yeah. Well, can't you get you like a little carry bags? It's kind of like, it looks like similar to a duffel bag, but it's got this inside kind of a soft, hard liner, and get your folding stock. Drops right down in, so all you got to do is zip it and pull it right out, pop the stock out, but downtown Leroy Brown. Guitar case, Billy, right? Do the violin case. Firefly, morning. Good morning from sunny New York. I'm in bed procrastinating the oral surgery appointment in an hour. I hate dentists. Right on. I'm with you. 110%. What's the weather like in the hand-me-down time zone? I don't know. What is California got a bunch of crappy weather? Or Colorado, that whole mountain time, Pacific Coast time? I know here in the central time zone, and the only time zone that matters, it's around 80 degrees, sunny at the moment, 40% chance of rain this afternoon. Hopefully not. I was sober until I got thrown out of the men's shelter for sticking up for a non-vet in a wheelchair. So I only say this, Joe, in a response, just because you're here talking. You were sober until you let something get under your skin, and then you decided to make a bad choice. And you started to hand control and power back over to a substance to do work that you didn't want to do. Sorry, brother, but I just been there. I've wore those shoes numerous times for many years. Firefly, stay positive. You can do it. Churning begins for me. Another lazy crazy hot day on the wastelands, I tend to keep them leaned against a wall. But yeah, I had to patrol with my rifle. Wild pigs tend to get close at times. See, there you go. Hey man, them wild hogs ain't no joke neither. They'll straight jack you up. Hell, they'll knock a damn mule right over. It's beautiful here today. Oh, there you go. And then let's see, Firefly says, Joe, how is Steve? Savage, sorry I had to go to the dentist a few months ago. Oh, sorry. Bone shards that I thought. Ooh, son, you know what? A bone shard. See, I wonder. So if you feel your gum line inside, do those bone shard deals feel like little things poking out from your gum? Because I got to say, right over here, there's a couple of spots, and I'm like, what the hell, man? I ain't got no teeth. And I've actually wondered if that was some like piece of bone or something. Just says, oh, I know, dude. I lost what was left in my mind. No, you didn't lose it. You just had a hiccup, Joe. Every day you wake up and take a breath, that's another day to start walking. So, I mean, you ain't lost it. You just ain't maybe controlling it right now, but you ain't lost it. Wish I could just wear one all day without being harassed. It really should be commonplace, but since it's not, people like to call other people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the dentist is going to have to dig today, but I had a post. It'll come out and that's empty show. Ooh, son. Right. Not a much in this world makes sense right now, Billy. See, yeah, whenever he said that, that just made me think of that. It's like, yeah, I've been sicker than a dog for a month, and I'm finally getting better. That's it. Well, you just, and I don't know the circumstances, Joe. So, you know, I'm just kind of talking in a general aspect, you know, previous experience. Used to be a counselor even at one point. My mother was a counselor. We got sober together a long time ago. And it just, you know, you can't ever feel like you've lost the battle. Every day you wake up, you got a chance to win the fight. That's why you were given that breath. Looks like you need to find what's right in your mind now, Joe. There's a goal for you, brother. Yep. Well, and getting, you know, it's darkest before the dawn. So you're going to feel sick, man. It's going to feel like the claws are just trying to pull you down, and you're sick, you're weary, you're wore out, you're mentally stressed. You get pissed off. Fuck the world, man. You start, and because that shit starts to fester because it's like claws that dig into you and it tries to pull you down. And, but then it's kind of like tearing loose from that. When you finally do, it's not that they're gone, but at least they don't have that claw mark hold on you. And but that's the hardest part of the fight right there is ripping them claws out of you and feeling that pain and that hardcore right there. That's the hard part. But when you get over that, that becomes your badge of honor. That's what I did anyway. That became my badge of honor. I kicked its ass, and then that became my thing. And then after a while, I stopped even repeating how many days I was sober because I thought, nope, I kicked that in the ass too. You have to choose your successes. You can't just shoot real big high, day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour, you know, whatever it takes for the moment. Good morning, Rabbit. Glad you're safe and sound. Everything's squared away. Right, Blue, it's all in your attitude. Well, it's easy to get pulled down, you know. That old phrase, the devil doesn't want you to win kind of thing, but you know, it just that hold on you, that grip. It doesn't want to let go. You got to rip it loose. Kind of like a leech. You just got to rip it off. What's up, Devil Dog Prepper? Good morning, y'all. On vacation for the week, sitting by the campfire, recharging my inner battery. Right on. There you go. Yeah, I'm getting my act together. My life is halfway stable now. Carol probably saved my life. Right on, Joe. Hell yeah. Well, gave you a hand up. You know, everybody needs a little hold to hold on to and brace themselves. Maybe some longer than others, but we all grab a ladder rung to brace ourselves for a minute. It is what it is. Like I said, every day you achieve it, that becomes part of your badge of honor. Sobriety is a blessing. I tried to drink myself to death once over a 10-year period. Turns out I had a little PTSD to deal with. I have sobered up, healed now, and I'm right with God, hopefully. There you go, Savage. Hey, Ben, look at you, brother. Right on. Let me try. I hope not. Yeah, doctor said I won't see 36 if I don't tone down the booze. So I'm working on it. Oh, yeah. I know, right, Rabbit. That's a youngin'. But that's, hey, man, when I was young, that's, you do things. Hopefully you'll be around and you're going to reach a moment when you about twice that age and you look back going, ooh, wee boy, let me tell you something. you know, share life experiences. Let's see, we're 3 hours and 11 minutes. We are at 9:11. Hey, 911. We're at the 911 mark. OMG. Hey, I'm gonna go make some biscuits and sausage. And then if you see a live later, it will be a tree trimming live, and I'll fire it up and y'all can chat away and I'll talk in between breaks. Possibly. We'll see how that goes as long as the rain thing don't move in. So Joe, I do want to say, and I'm sorry because I'm not trying to preach to you, so hopefully you don't take that going, man, I went to do channel and he starts fucking bitching at me and preaching at me. And I don't mean it to come out that way. I know the struggle, but that was a good part of my younger years. From my early younger years was living in it, but then my young, 30 years ago or so, that was part of my recovery stuff. So it's like, man, I'm so willing to help people that want to help themselves. But I do come across a little rash, so don't mean to be. I've kind of walked a lot of shoes in that atmosphere. So nothing but love, man. But I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hopefully you start your Monday off in a better mood and it won't be like, oh my God, the end is nigh. Because it could be. Who knows when we're going out? I don't know. That's a given. We're all leaving at some point or another. So, hey, if you get out about the store, pick up something extra. And just remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. You just have to, are you willing to do what you got to do for it? How bad do you want it? I appreciate y'all. Y'all make it a good day. Hey, help somebody smile today. You know what I'm saying? I might see y'all later. Take care. Do something today. Appreciate you. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
If I ain't here tomorrow, if the good Lord says it's my time to go, I don't see that morning sunset. There's some things I need for you to know. The truck is yours if you want it. It'll run forever if you treat it right. When you think of me on some back road, that's because I'm right there by your side. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Hey, if you get out and about, just keep your head on a swivel. Help somebody smile today. Pick up something extra you go
Don't
to.
let life turn bitter. Don't be ashamed to bow your head. Take it easy on the liquor. Remember what it did to your granddad. Yeah, you're gonna get your heart broke, but a couple of tears don't make you weak. You're gonna find that girl God made just for you. Knows what he's doing, wait and see. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Hey, for everybody that's traveling from the meetup and going back home, y'all be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Remember, there's a lot of goofy ass people behind the wheel. There's no IQ test when it comes to a driver's license. Head on a swivel, guys. Go to the store, pick up something extra. Try to help somebody smile. You got to inject some positivity and fortitude into this place.
Keep the shotgun in the family. Raise your babies by the book. And keep my picture in your wallet. Keep your car keys on a hook. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Please don't ever forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Take care, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you started your Monday off on the right foot. Hopefully I'll see you in maybe a little bit. If not, I'll see you in the morning. I'll try to get the positive ball rolling every morning. Try to encourage you. There's daylight at the end of the tunnel. Appreciate you. Peace.